views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us for our weekly show. Let's talk sports with Rick and Jack. My friend Jack, how are you?
Wonderful, sir.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
You're out buying gifts for the kids and the family and doing that daddy thing.
Yeah, of course, it's that time of year.
I wait till the last minute.
I try not to procrastinate because then...
You're better man.
And I don't like to deal with the crowds that everybody else that procrastinates, so I try to get as much as possible.
You're a better man than me. You know, I'm a guy that goes and does the shopping the last minute and goes to get the, nice, loving Christmas cards, and there aren't any left. How many of you do that? And it's the 24th, and I'm looking for a Christmas card. Something endearing for the family. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't. The Target doesn't have it. Maybe I should try some. And, I end up buying a, $3 card. It takes me 5 hours.
5 hours. I've been there before, so I try not to do that. I don't like the rush.
I love the pressure.
Oh, no.
Like a great athlete. Well, like a great athlete, I love the pressure. But speaking of pressure, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Speaking of pressure, what's going on in the sports world for you? What you see this week that you were like, wow, was it that Monday Night Football game or what was it?
No, it wasn't Monday night, which I did like. I did like that game. This was everything that it was advertised to be, because a lot of times they're not, and it was full of enjoyment, full of unpredictable things happening, and the outcome was good. What stood out for me though this week is how every time this year we talk about the expansion of the college playoffs, because the teams that are out, or the teams that possibly be out, are looking in at like a 5-0 Ohio State and saying they only played 5 games, maybe 6. How are they in when we played damn near a full schedule and we're looking on the outside?
It's
on the
tough.
outside end, yeah.
I mean, you got to beat what I consider an average Northwestern team. Ohio State will blow them out. They can't keep up with them. They can't keep up with the Ohio State defense to begin with, or Justin Fields. You haven't seen the real Justin Fields yet. Wait till this Saturday. And, as you all know, it's league championship week, and that's what Jack's talking about. Ohio State needs to win a 6th game, then they're going to be in the top 4, and it's who have they beaten this year? And some of these teams have played such tough games.
Yeah, you look at Coastal Carolina, which is 11-0, only ranked at number 12 in the nation. You have a USC that's 5-0, ranked number 13. So I don't know. I think it's driven by advertisers, TVs, whoever they want to put in this. But at the end of the day, don't say you're in a top 5 power conference and they're all not treated equally. So.
Yeah, it's been so tough with COVID. It's such a mess.
It's not just COVID. Teams. Every year it's the same BS. It's the same conversation we're having, and that's why I'm like, that's what stood out to me this week, because I'm trying. We're going to talk about a good argument as far as this team needs to this. If this happens, what's going to happen and all that, and it's going to come down to is whoever they like and who advertisers are going to drive towards, and that's who they're going to put in there.
Since the champion playoff series started this year, the rankings, they haven't changed in 4 weeks. They don't change. The top 4 are the top 4. And even Ohio State, I mean, I'm funny. I don't think Ohio State should be punished because I think they're one of the best teams in the country. But I don't think that an 11-0 team that's played so well. You look at Florida, who's played such a tough schedule. Okay, they lost a really rough game last week. They lost by a foot, literally. Come on, man. Throwing that guy's shoe. How ridiculous. Anyways, we can talk about so many things, but yeah, it's tainted. You got to have 8 teams. And Alabama's going to win it all. They're the best team. Alabama, I've all year been saying Notre Dame, Notre Dame, Notre Dame, and I've watched every week, and Notre Dame is a very good football team. I believe that they're going to have a very tough time against Clemson. Clemson's favored by 10.5. Think about that. The number 2 team in the country is a dog by 10.5 points, underdog. The prognosticators know something, believe me.
They know something we don't know.
The big money knows something. Because for those odds to be like that, but so much of it is based on Trevor Lawrence. And I don't think that's what it's going to come down to. I thought the freshman, played very, very well in Lawrence's absence. But the problem is that Lawrence is prolific. But I think it's going to come down to defense. Turnovers in defense is what it's going to come down to. I think it's not going to be the offense that people think it's going to be. I think the defenses are going to play very well. And it's going to come down to a punt dropped, an interception, a kick return.
Maybe special teams is going to be very important in the outcome. Or maybe it's the last drive, you know.
It's going to be something because these are 2 very physical teams. And the last game, there were a couple defensive guys out also for Clemson. A lot of people don't grasp that. Trevor Lawrence, and again, he's great. He's going to be the number 1 draft pick, probably, unless he goes back. He may do that. But the thing about it is it's going to come down to something funny. And very physical teams, and it's injuries, it's a touchdown called back on a holding penalty, it's whatever it is, it's going to be something funny. But that's going to be a game, man. Who you like in that game?
I actually do like, for the upset, or just to shake things up, I actually want Notre Dame to lose.
Well, you want Notre Dame to lose?
Yeah.
So if Alabama is going to beat Florida by 3 touchdowns or more, Alabama, to me, again, I've watched it closely. They are the most prolific team by far. They are the best team in college football. They won't be touched. Their offense is, how do you stop their offense? Jones at quarterback. Najee Harris at running back. Smith at receiver. The 3 best players in the country at their position. The 3 best players at their position in the country.
But what they
and
need
an
to
adequate
do,
defense.
in the way to stop him, 33% of Mac Jones' throws goes to Smith. Shut down Smith. Smith has 1,300 yards in receiving yards, and then you have Harris with another 1,000 yards. So if you shut down Smith with this, which is going to be a third of his targets, then you may have a chance.
You have no chance.
Well, let's see what Florida
Folks,
says about that.
Well, what is the point? What is the point spread?
Point spread on that, we're looking at
Alabama by 17.
17. You never know.
Against Florida. Florida doesn't deserve to win. They had a chance to go into that game, and even if they lost it, a chance to be in the Final Four. If they played well, and you go and lose a game to LSU, a tie game, and the guy tackles somebody and pulls his shoe off and throws it down the field in 3rd and 9, and a penalty, and they end up kicking a field goal. LSU kicks a field goal and wins. They don't deserve to win. It's no discipline. No discipline. I loved Florida all year, and if you watch past shows, I touted Florida. I have touted them all year. I've touted Notre Dame all year. Guess what? We're to the final week. Conference championships. Alabama's the best team, and Clemson's the 2nd best team. Ohio State is the 3rd best team. Notre Dame is the 4th best team. Texas A&M is the 5th best team. If the right thing happens, Texas A&M will get in. If everybody loses, of all the top teams, SC is going to get in if they win.
A 33% chance, huh?
A 33% chance. Guess what? It ain't going to happen. Alabama will not lose. Clemson will not lose. Ohio State will not lose. So it's up to everyone when Notre Dame loses to say, is Notre Dame in the top 4? Of course they are. Your top 4 is not going to change. Just the order and how they're going to play is going to change.
Because they beat up each other. So, you know, the first one Notre Dame won, and then now Clemson wins this one. So I guess, they just swap wins. But I'm still frustrated with the fact that it's not open up to 8 teams.
Well, but there's nothing we can do. We got what we got. We got what we got this year. You know, you're going to get.
And so then, what are we going to say?
Well,
say the same thing
before
for the next
year starts, you're going to get to go in front of the board, state your case, and tell them why it should be 8, and they'll probably change it to 8. But right now, we got 4, baby. Let's play 4. And everybody else that's good out there, Texas A&M, Coastal Carolina, you know how I love them. And I almost jinxed them. They almost lost.
I know.
They won with 34 seconds.
You did that with Northwestern. You did that with Florida.
Every time I tout a team big.
You did it with Alabama this week. So thank you.
Yeah, Alabama won't lose.
Okay.
Florida's defense cannot play with Alabama. Florida does not have a great defense. When you let a freshman quarterback, a kid who hasn't played all year, Brad Johnson's son, Minnesota Vikings quarterback, his son, played a great game, but he was a backup. The other guy got hurt. For him to go out and beat you, Florida's not that good. I'm sorry.
Well, you never know.
And they'll make an undisciplined play.
Any given Saturday, well, not any day of the week now, because
Alabama will win by 21 or more. Notre Dame can very well beat Clemson. I just think that this time around that Dabo Swinney is one of the best coaches in college football. He has it planned out. He has his guys motivated. Clemson will be very, very alive this weekend. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. And Northwestern versus Ohio State. Ohio State hasn't had a chance to show their thing yet, what they are. Ohio State is a fine football team. They really are a fine football team, and they haven't had a chance to really parade that around yet because they haven't played any big games.
So maybe we'll see that this week?
Well, the thing about it is you always have to put coaching into it, particularly in college. Pat Fitzgerald is a great coach, the Northwestern coach. He is really a good coach. He will have his guys ready, and I think it will be a very competitive game early. I think in the fourth quarter it will turn Ohio State's way. Northwestern is a very good team. They run the ball well. They run the ball very, very well. They have a good running game, pretty good passing game, but Ohio State plays an incredible defense. And again, the corners, the defensive backs at Ohio State are pretty tough. It's going to be hard to throw the ball. And Ohio State's got a very good receiving crew. And again, you'll see Justin Fields. You'll see the true Justin Fields. I don't think you've seen the best guy yet. I think you're going to see a good Ohio State team this week.
And for Wilson, Wilson is actually their top receiver with a little bit over 570 yards. So again, if maybe they can take away that from him and let him beat in that sense.
Yeah. Back to the comment you made about. I hope you watch these playoff games this Saturday. Friday and Saturday, USC plays on Friday. They're not that good, but watch it, please. Back to Alabama and the thing about cutting off Smith. That's fine. Double team him, triple team him. Alabama's so loaded, somebody else will catch the ball and somebody will become a star. Somebody will become a star.
Next man up.
It's just like, in the bowl game of the year when Tua couldn't do, Jalen Hurts couldn't do anything and they put Tua in the game. And the game changed that quick. Threw a touchdown pass, and that was how we learned about Tua. And this was going to happen. Somebody else from Alabama was going to step up. And they always have defensive guys that step up. So Alabama's loaded this year, and that's not saying, I'd like somebody else to win. I'd like Notre Dame to win it. They've had a great year. But, it's like, I don't know. I hope Notre Dame beats Clemson. I really do. But what I do for a living, pick football games and pick them pretty well most of the time.
Most of the time.
Been pretty good on college football this year. I think Clemson's going to win the game. I don't say by 10.5 points. I say they're going to win the game. Alabama's going to win. Ohio State's going to win. And then you're going to have a decision, do you move in Texas A&M? If Notre Dame loses, do you move in Texas A&M? Cincinnati's never going to get there.
Yeah, number 9.
Coastal Carolina, Iowa State, they're all not going to get there.
So would you give them a New Year's Day bowl?
The Big Six?
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends who plays well. The New Year's Six. I would like to see Coastal Carolina in there. I would like to see Cincinnati in there. Iowa State's played very well this year. They've had a big year.
What about
USC's played? USC has been the heart attack kids. They won three games in the last seconds, including UCLA this week, down by 18 points deep into the third quarter, and they win.
Could you have scripted that?
Oh, no, that was so great. The thing about that SC game, I don't know if you saw, UCLA had them beat and made a couple mistakes, had the wrong personnel on the field on 4th down and 2. UCLA made a few mistakes. They kicked off.
If it went wrong, it was going to go wrong.
They kicked off to a very good kick returner who took it back 52 yards. And then the next play there was a bomb, and then the next SC scored in 3 plays to win that game. They had 52 seconds left, ball being kicked off, down, no timeouts, and they won the game. They scored within 30 seconds. You realize that Slovis, the USC quarterback, has thrown 13 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
13 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
So he's definitely a fourth quarter quarterback.
They were down to Arizona State, I think it was, just far back. 13 with 2-something to play, and they won the game. SC has been the cardiac kids this year. And don't get me wrong, who have they beat? Utah, Arizona State, Arizona, UCLA. Come on. SC hasn't beat anybody. Oregon's a pretty good team. Oregon had high ratings. Who do you think's going to win that game? Oregon versus SC.
I think Oregon probably win that game. It's their last.
I agree with you, even though I'm an SC fan.
They're good when it comes to Pac-12 championships.
Yeah.
They're good. They're good when they're on the stage. So I could see them winning. Will it be easy? No, it'll be a scrappy win because their division, obviously, they all want to win. Both teams want to win the championship.
You want to be Pac-12 champion no matter what happened. Yeah. The thing about it is Mario Cristobal is a great coach. And he's much better than Clay Helton, in my opinion, the USC coach. I think this is going to be a game of a guy on USC that gets out-coached. Oregon's scripting up some things for USC. I've seen every USC game this year like I do every year. I'm a big fan since I was that tall. USC has a lot of weaknesses on defense. Offensively, man, they throw the ball well. Nobody throws the ball better than USC in this country. Nobody. They have a great receiving core. That kid London, the sophomore, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyler Vaughns, these guys are 3 of the top receivers in the country. So SC will move the ball offensively, but Oregon will have something for them.
The problem with Oregon, like what they like to do is they'll open up, like basically punch you in the face. But the problem is they don't punch you in the face for 4 quarters. They let a couple games slip through their hands because they're blowing the lead in the fourth quarter. And with USC being a fourth quarter driven team, that might be the quarter that jacks up
it could
Oregon.
Be. Hey, I hope SC wins. It's like I want to see USC win. I want to see Notre Dame win. I want to see Ohio State win. I want to see Alabama win. I want the best teams in the championship. I believe the 4 best teams in the country are exactly as listed. We'd like to have your opinion. What do you guys think? I mean, we're sitting here talking about this, putting a lot of time into this college playoff, the league championships coming up, and we'd love to hear from you. Like our show, share it, sign up at WWDBTV, become a member with us. It doesn't cost you anything to join us. Please share the show, watch our show, share it with your friends. I think this college football Friday, Saturday is going to be a lot of fun. SC plays on Friday night, and all the other games are on Saturday. But how you see it, I mean, I've kind of told you what I think is how it's going to end up, and it's going to be those 4 guys. And what do you think? What do you see happening here?
I think there's a slim chance that one of those four teams are not going to make it in this week.
And I that's think who?
To be honest, I think it's going to be Ohio State.
You think Ohio State is going to lose the Northwestern?
Yeah, I like Northwestern.
Man, that's bold.
Earlier in the season.
It's possible.
Earlier in the season, before you jinxed them and said that they have a slim shot of going in the top 4, they were actually playing not decent but great football, and this is really going to be a challenge for them. And I think they're going to show up for that challenge and actually go over our expectation and end up knocking them off. So then here comes Texas A&M. All they have to do is make sure that they win.
Yeah, I mean, and they're going to win. They don't have much of a game, but they're going to win. That'll be a fun game. Coastal Carolina, they got a fun playoff game. Even like these other teams like Buffalo. I don't even seen Buffalo play this year.
Yeah, and that's what the thing too.
They play Tulsa, and I mean, Buffalo has had a great year. I mean, nobody talks about Buffalo, but I mean they're prolific.
Well, you figure like with Patterson, he had he had 18 touchdowns for the season already, but obviously one game he had 8 of them.
Yeah, he's pretty good though.
Which is a feel-good story, and not realizing like that Buffalo team is actually not bad.
Well, they're favored by 13 over Ball State.
Yeah.
13 points. I'll take Buffalo all day long. You look at some of these other games. You got Tulsa's playing Cincinnati, actually. Cincinnati 4.5 off over Tulsa. That's going to be a good game. Tulsa's a good ball club.
I think that game will actually go over that 45, basically a 46-point total that they have.
Cincinnati's had a nice year, right?
Yeah.
Boise State's had a pretty nice year. I mean, they got beat up by BYU when they didn't have their quarterback in there. They're playing in their league championship game against San Jose State. So there's a lot of great games. I mean, there's really, really a lot of great games. You got Mississippi, LSU, who cares? LSU favored by 1. SMU, Texas, all these league champs. Texas A&M and Tennessee. Texas A&M at Tennessee, 14 points.
This is probably like one of my favorite weekends, other than opening weekends, because then it for college football. But these championship games, like, I like to take the dogs sometimes too, man.
Oh, I know.
It's fun.
Wasn't it fun yesterday? We met that gentleman in the restaurant, and he recognized our show, and he came up to our table. We were doing our production show, pre-production, for our shows this week, and a gentleman came up to us and he was commenting on our show, and he says, "Oh, I love to be a smart guy and bet all the dogs." And over the how many years he said that he bet dogs, and he was way ahead?
Yeah, probably a good 20 years.
Yeah, betting dogs. So, it's a lot of people do that. I got a friend that is really good at it, Mr. Ken Sidley. We call him the Phantom. Always takes the dogs, but I just think that it's going to play out the way it's supposed to play out this week. I really don't. In the big games, in the Alabama game, in the Ohio State game, the Clemson, Notre Dame, those games I don't think there's going to be any surprises. I think that Final Four is going to be locked in. Notre Dame's going to end up getting that 4th spot after they lose to Clemson, and that's going to be that. But you think Texas A&M is going to get in there, and
yes, sir.
Who's going to be out?
Ohio State.
So you really think that? Did you hear that? It's a great opportunity. Jack is very very passionate about the fact that he thinks Northwestern is going to beat Ohio State. Side bet?
Yeah.
What's the point spread?
Point spread on that.
20 points. Ohio State will never win that game by 20 points. 20.5, 20 and a half. Let's just have a gentleman's bet. I'll take Ohio State. You take Northwestern.
Yes.
For lunch?
Yeah, sure.
Dinner, beer?
We'll do lunch.
Half a cow? What? You're a chef. Half a cow, whatever. Hey, you're going to barbecue a pig for the families? What's it going to be?
You know what?
What do you want to make the bet?
Steak dinner.
Steak dinner?
Yeah.
At the restaurant of choice?
No. I will cook you a steak dinner.
Oh, you will cook a steak dinner.
I cook the family a steak dinner.
For you that don't know, Jack is an acclaimed chef, very successful, had many years as a really, really top chef around the world, and recently in Vegas. He does this show here. This is what he loves the most, being on a sports show and the NFL show, and being here at WWDBTV. That's what we both like. We have other skills. My skills, I don't know what they are. I'm a
trying to be modest.
Hey, I'm a derelict sports guy. I guess my skill is I've raised 5 great kids. Anyways, it'll be fun to talk about next week after we see what happened.
Yeah.
Check it out. Make your bets. Get some action. Play some parlays. I think I'm going to play a parlay on the top 4 games and bet them all individually. But I'm going to put a little extra action this week, a little extra coinage on the games this week on Friday and Saturday. I'm really excited about it. But check it out. Enjoy it. Watch and see what happens. Watch some college football games. Send the kids and the wife out to the mall. Send them out shopping. Give them, whatever you give them. And
couple extra coins.
Go shopping. I got my 6-pack here. I got my hero sandwich right here, and I'm going to watch football on Saturday. So anyways, we'll move on to other things, but enjoy college. Enjoy college football. And again, please like us. Like what you see here. Please share it. Please join us. Please be part of it. But, we've spent most of our show talking college football. Anything else you want to talk about? Anything else comes to mind? I mean, NBA is going to get started, and college basketball.
I do want to talk.
I
do want to talk about NBA, and I do want to talk about one of the things that I've always emphasized is the way the locker room is, the way how a player
huge
can mess up a locker room, and that player in this specific moment I'm talking about is James Harden, and just the way his approach to the season. One, he's out. He just, and going back to the team right now, and it's like still doesn't want to be a part of the team.
No.
But you're getting paid millions to play a kid's sport.
Yeah.
Like he is disrupting that locker room, and it's not going to be good moving forward.
No, it's a bad scene, and he doesn't want to be there. And he's kind of disrespected John Wall, and everybody's trying to be patient with him. I'm not a fan. He shoots well. He's a great player. I'm just, until you win a championship, I'm not a fan. And I saw a comment from Jeannie Buss today, saying that she's so proud of LeBron, how the mentality part of it, the mental part of it, how he took that team in the COVID, in the bubble, and just directed them and led them and was a leader and led them to the championship and kept them cohesive and happy and having a good time together.
He didn't act like a diva.
Yeah, he did not act like a diva.
Despite he could have.
He did
not. Like back in the days,
he was awesome.
Michael Jordan used to get so much press coverage that he couldn't be in the same locker room. It was just disruptive for the guys around him. Guys trying to change, trying to get out of there, and the press is just there swarming Jordan. They gave him his own locker room just so that it would be better for the players around him.
Less,
which I understood that.
Less distraction.
But in a sense, like, can LeBron act like a diva and do all those things? Yes.
Yes, he can, but he doesn't.
But he doesn't, because he likes to emphasize on that team, that unit cohesiveness. So James Harden, like I used to like the guy as a player, but right now what you're doing right now as a person, not. No,
that's not cool. I mean,
cool.
It's you're there. They can't get rid of you because of your contract situation. Come on, man, cowboy up and be a big man and play. Quit being a big baby diva. Look at over there. Hey, Giannis signs a 5-year contract in Milwaukee, small city, small viewing audience, not like the big NBA places. He could have gone to a big city. He stayed in Milwaukee, small town America, and he wanted to be there, and he wants to be part of something.
Because
he wants
they made
to be
him
part
family
of the team.
there, just like the Rockets
and he's
did.
going to re-sign, but of course he's getting $280 million. But
that doesn't hurt.
That don't hurt, So he can own the whole city, but. NBA it's coming up. It starts next week. We'll talk more about it on our show next week. It starts on the 22nd. Where we got our own opinions. We'll make some picks. Like I said, after football's over, we're going to have an NBA show every week. A lot of stuff going on. We got college basketball. It isn't changing much because they're not playing a lot of games. Gonzaga and Baylor continue to be 1 and 2, and teams. There's some teams like Villanova and West Virginia and Michigan State that they'll be there in the end. But how much basketball are we going to play? College, UFC, nothing really this week. There was a couple great fights last week, but people retained their championships. That was good. The one thing I wanted to finish with today is I was watching SportsCenter last night, and they were honoring a lady, the Stanford basketball coach. Tara Vanderher. She is the winningest college basketball coach in history. She surpassed Pat Summitt and Gino Auriemma, who were legends. Tara at Stanford, won an Olympic gold medal as a coach. Just flies under the radar because they're a simple person. They just want to teach people, train them, and she's been unbelievable. I wanted to give a special shout out to Tara and say, hey, incredible record, 1,999 wins in the college ranks amongst the women. You've touched a lot of women. I saw the little documentary they did with all the great athletes that thanked you for what you had done for them and in their careers and how you've been a leader. I just wanted to say, Tara, much respect. That's what college sports are about, leading young people to be successful, to go on and have great lives and great families. I just wanted to say to you, thank you very, very much for being a leader of young ladies. That touched me more than anything this week, and I wanted to say that. But that all being said, it's a big sports weekend. Big college football weekend. Exciting, very exciting. Can't wait to analyze it after it's over and say what happened, why it happened, and who's going where. Sunday's the big selection show, so watch the selection show on Sunday. See how all the games and what's affected. Again, please like us, follow us, follow some of the picks we gave out He's giving out Northwestern. That's the bold pick of the week. We'll call that the bold pick of the week. Watch our NFL show. We got a lot of more football picks there. The NFL's heating up. We love you. Thanks for being followers. God bless you. Happy holidays. Look forward to our NFL show, and thanks for watching. God bless.